All right. Well, let's look at this first. You've obviously broken down the checklist super extensively. You mentioned 178 versus 22 for first and non-first. Break it down by position for me because I know you've done this. QBs, wide receivers, running backs, defensive. How does that checklist break down by position group?
Yeah. So we'll start quarterback. Quarterback, there are 58 quarterbacks here. I'm going to refer to some. I got 3 pages of notes, Ryan. So we could be
Guys
here for some
prepared, man.
time. 58 quarterbacks. I think the top 25 super solid. Like those are your, you know, some of the top 25 just guys in college football at the position, whether
Yep.
that's like fan base or just, their play.
Yep.
So I really like that. It's headlined by Mendoza, Underwood, Mateer, Dante Moore in an Oregon jersey,
Yep.
projected number one by a lot of people. Sellers, Pavia, I think are some of the big ones. I love the middle, like the 12 to 20-ish right there, where you got like Sawyer Robertson, Bo Pribula, Haynes King. There's Georgia Tech is 7-0 and number 7 in the country. They could win out. They got Georgia at the end. We'll see. Sam Levitt, I think, is interesting. Kevin
Yep.
Jennings, I'm watching. He's got another year of eligibility. And then just some sleepers here. I'm curious to see Drake Lindsey is a redshirt freshman at Minnesota. Minnesota got blessed in this checklist. They've got like 6 guys in there.
Hmm.
Drake Lindsey, I'm curious to see what he looks like. Some people love him. I'll be waiting to see. Malik Murphy out of Oregon State, I think, is interesting. Former Texas guy. He started some
Yep.
games there for Quinn Ewers. Goes to Duke, wins 9 games at Duke. You can't win 9 games at Duke just being an average quarterback. So I put some stock into that. They did go 0-7 at Oregon State, and he did just get benched. So I'll caveat it with that. But I'm curious. He's got another year of eligibility. And then Micah Alahado, Hawaii.
Your
Fun,
guy.
crafty little quarterback. I love that. So that's, I think where the quarterbacks kind of stand. I think it's a deep class. And even, the 25 to 58, I think, is still solid. There's some dart throws. I think there's some stinkies out of the group of 5 with the MAC, but otherwise solid quarterback checklist. And that's, I think what people prioritize as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't mention your guy, Prabula for Missouri. I know he doesn't have a ton of stuff. Obviously, in the middle of the pack for the SEC. So I would expect he'll be again. I think the thing when you look at the checklist is there's going to be a lot of guys that like you'll have the top guys. You'll have the Mendoza, you'll have the Bryce Underwood, the Sellers, but you're going to have a lot of guys in the middle that I think are going to sell better than people anticipate. Especially when you start getting into some of those golds and better, you get in some of the rarer stuff, the inscription autos. Like I think there'll be some sneaky guys in this, and I think it's headlined by 25+% of this checklist being quarterbacks.
Yeah, guys like Mark Gronowski. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Just top selling teams. But Iowa, I have several people in my comment section, South Dakota State fans, because he was there before, and they're like, I'm excited to collect Mark Gronowski. So we've got even South Dakota fans who want this transfer kid in an Iowa jersey. So like stuff like that just adds insane value.
All right. Well, what's the breakdown for the rest of the position groups?
All right, running back. We got 48 running backs. I think the top 12, super solid. A lot of dart throws once you get deeper into the checklist, but
Yep.
super solid. Ahmad Hardy, I think this kid has like Jeremiah Love next potential next year. Like I believe in it. He's a sophomore. He's kind of gotten bottled up the last few weeks, but he was leading the country through the first like 5 or 6 weeks. I think he's going to be a huge chase. My guy Jonah Coleman, former Arizona guy, he's been balling out at Washington. I really like him for the draft. Jadarian Price, Notre Dame, I think that's a huge one.
Yep.
The best running back duo right now. No
Yep.
Jeremiah Love. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. I love kind of the 8 to 15, Jaden Baugh, Nate Frazier, a couple true sophomores. Darius Taylor, I'm excited about. I have a love-hate relationship with him. He'll go for 130 yards one week, and then he'll finish with 23 the next, and it's super frustrating.
Darius
But I
Taylor from
really
where?
believe in the kid. Minnesota. Minnesota running back junior. Looks good. And then I like a lot of the sleepers here. You've got Dawson Pendergrass. He's hurt. He's been out for the year for Baylor, but I think he's a solid little stash. Wayshawn Parker out of Utah looks good. Carson Hansen, Iowa State. You know who he reminds me of? Carson Steele. Just kind of that like hard edge guy that just runs you over. I think they're very comparable. Anthony Hankerson, Oregon State, former Colorado guy, goes to Oregon State, 1,000-yard guy, on track to do it again this year. Running back's got a lot of potential there. Do you want me to go to wide receivers now?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's go to wide receivers. This is the deepest, 59 wide receivers, and
Wow.
I think this is like maybe my one of my favorite groups. I think the top 10 of the wide receivers absolutely elite. Like they've got Denzel Boston's one of my favorite receivers. I've got him outside my top five. There are just some young guys that they've got that I really like. They've got Jordan Tyson. He's been one of my favorites. He's been balling out. Chris
Jordan
Brazel
Tyson
out of
is
Tennessee.
is here.
He is here. He's
Wow.
here out of Arizona State. Chris Brazel, Tennessee.
Yep.
Mario Craver, he's been dominating the SEC this year, transfer from Mississippi State. Dallas Wilson, the freshman out of Florida, he's kind of peaking at the right time. He torched Texas, like 139 and 2 yards 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whenever that was. And then Denzel Boston. The middle of this, man, I love it. You've got the Nebraska receivers, Ja'Cory and Naziah Hunter. Those guys are elite and both only sophomores. So I love those guys. Lewis Bond, I think, is a sleeper out of Boston College. You got some Big 12 receivers, Chase Roberts, BYU, Josh Cameron out of Baylor, and I think there's one more here. The Kansas State kid, Jace Brown. I think he's super solid. Some sleepers there. Ian Strong, Rutgers, 6'3", increased production each of the last 3 years. And then Trent Walker, 6'3" receiver out of Oregon State. He's been balling out for 4 years. He's been doing it. I believe in him. I love the wide receiver group a lot, Ryan. A lot.
Yeah, there's a couple guys on there you didn't mention that I think will sell pretty well. I know you're probably not as big of a believer. We'll get into that in a second, but Nick Harbor, I believe that's right. Nick Harbor,
Mm-hmm.
the 5-star wide receiver from South Carolina, incredible speed. Obviously, a 5-star kid. I think you love to point out he has more stars than touchdowns. I think that's your fun fact of the
Mm-hmm.
week, usually every single week. But yeah, it's South Carolina's again. We'll talk about them, I'm sure, a lot on this, just because they have some big names in this, some big 5-star guys. Not necessarily the production, but they have a guy, a handful of guys with some big time potential. So what else you got on the list? That's got to be most of it. I'm assuming defense.
Yeah, so tight ends, actually. There are
Okay.
12 tight ends. I don't think they missed on a single tight end. I
Wow.
love this. They got 12 of the top 20 tight ends in the country, I think. Really solid group. You got your boy Max Clare. He's been picking it up lately. RJ Maryland, an absolute monster out of SMU. He kind of gets hurt every now and then, but he's a monster. He reminds me of Harold Fannin, who's actually balling out right now, but I think they're very similar in a way.
Okay.
Who else do I love? Eli Stowers out of Vanderbilt's a solid one. And then Trades Green, LSU. This kid's 6'7", 250, and man, he's a machine. So I really
That's
like
a big time
Trades
tight end.
Green there. Yeah, so he's been a monster. Matt Lauder out of Boise State. If he had a decent quarterback, I think he could be putting up All-American numbers. Guy that I like. So tight end I like. And then, yeah, let's go right to defense then. Not
Some
people will
big names.
say, I hear this. I hear this all the time. College cards don't sell. Defensive guys don't sell. Well, you know what? They got 22 guys in here, and they got like 18 of the top defensive guys in the country, just straight
For
up
sure.
All Americans, some of the best in the country.
Yep.
Dylan Stewart, who I do like, he's a great pass rusher. He's my number one defensive player. We'll
Yep.
talk about South Carolina again. We've brought up the other two guys in the checklist already. Mateo Uyunglele out of Oregon, awesome player. Keldrick Falk, great edge rusher out of Auburn. Colin Simmons at Texas. Texas has a loaded defensive group.
Yep.
Michael Taff, unfortunately injured for like the next 2 or 3 weeks, but he's an
Yep.
All-American former walk-on kid. Anthony Hill Jr., he's an All-American linebacker out of Texas.
The
There's
Minnesota
D'Angelo
kid.
Pons, Indiana. That's going
Yep.
to be a fun card to chase, I think. Trey White, SDSU, Jaden Virgin Morgan, Boise State, just some of the group of 5 guys they got, super solid. Coy Parrish, I
There you
completely
go.
forgot about
There
him.
you go.
Minnesota, the next
Yep.
Travis Hunter. His
Yep.
leaf autos do
Dog.
like $100 right now. So,
Yeah. He's gonna sell for a
the
lot. Like that's Cooper DeJean 2.0 is what that is.
Yeah, and so that's going to be a sneaky value bin play for sure.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
there's 18 guys that I'm like, man, these are like stars on defense,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they almost hit them all.
Yeah, I think you got to give a ton of credit to Tops and the team producing, Bowman Chrome for the names and the quality they have on the defensive side of the ball.